Hey there! Today I'll be showing you how to use the MRExtractor, a simple command line tool developed by Metadata Technology North America. In this video, we will look at what this tool aims to accomplish, and then go through how to use it. So what problem are we trying to solve? First, let's take a look at an interesting data file. Here we have some data from the U.S. Census Bureau. It's a fixed width file, but a quick look will tell you that something is off. This is actually two fixed files in one. We have records that start with H for household, and records that start with P for person. This file may be a bit more useful to us if we could have both a household and person file separate. That's where the MRExtractor comes in. The MRExtractor is a program written in Java, which is useful because it can be used on any operating system. But you must first have Java installed on your machine. Once you have Java installed, you can navigate to the folder that contains the MRExtractor jar. A quick look inside this folder verifies that yes, the MRExtractor jar is there. Once I'm in the folder, I can run the Java jar command to run the MRExtractor jar. I'm going to use the -h option, which is our help option, and that will bring up this usage text. We have three options here: the H for help, IDs, which will specify the ID to filter a records on, and the O, or output folder, option. Let's take a look at the IDs option real quick. In our example data, we have two IDs, H and P. If I specified an ID of H, I would get only one file exported, and it would be all the household records. Similarly, if I specified only a P, I would get only one file of the person records. But if I specified both of them as H, P, I would get two exported files, one for the household and one for the person. If I did not specify any IDs at all, the MRExtractor would do its best to find the different IDs in the file and create an export file for each one of them. The output folder option is optional. If you specify it, the files that are exported will be saved to that folder that you specify. If you do not specify an output folder, then the files will simply be saved in the same folder as the data file. So let's give this a try. I'm going to run the Java jar command on the MRExtractor. I'm going to specify IDs H, P, so I'll get two files. Specify the output folder of my E drive metadata test files. And finally, I need to specify the data file that I want to work on, which is in the E drive metadata, all District of Columbia, and then PUMS 11. So I'm going to go ahead and run this. And we can see that the records have been extracted. So if I go to my test files folder, I'll see two files: the PUMS 11H for the household and the PUMS 11P for the person. So I'm going to go ahead and open these up and see what we got. As you can see, in the PUMS 11H file, we now have only records that start with H. This looks a bit more like what we'd expect to see in a fixed width file. Similarly, if I open the PUMS 11P file, I'll have only the records that start with P. So I'm going to delete both these files and take a look at what happens if we don't specify any IDs. I will rerun the MRExtractor without the IDs option. The extraction is completed, And if I refresh this test files folder, we'll see that the MRExtractor picked up on two IDs, H and P, and was able to create a file for each one of them. The contents are the same. And so we can see that whether or not we know the IDs in the file, the MRExtractor will help us find them and output the appropriate records to the appropriate files. Thanks for watching, and I hope this is helpful.